I go back to my earlier comment about the manufacturing age. So we, in some of our organizational design, in some of our structures inside of companies, we have a couple of big challenges we need to solve for. And one of them is the how we have organized what we call corporate learning and development, what we call HR, right? How we've placed that in an organizational structure that in a lot of ways inhibits its ability to really be connected to the business enough and connected to what the workforce needs enough to be able to drive what I connect to that competitive advantage. There will be no skill more important than to be constantly and consistently learning. And so when you think about the value of learning, and Ed Bastian, the CEO of Delta, once told us, we need to be a learning company. Our CEO at Docebo has told us that we are now a AI-powered learning company. And so what this means, though, is how do you unleash that capability across the enterprise in a fashion that, or in a manner that makes it doable for the workforce, but also allows them to understand how they can deliver true outcomes, right? The reality is, in today's world, not many people understand the work itself. I would argue there's not a lot of people in HR and L&D that deeply understands the work enough to really understand how the work needs to be re-engineered. And that is a inhibitor for us, because in our practice, which traditionally is known as the people practice, we need to be at the table. And this colleague of mine, Mark Ramos, has actually said, no, Brandon, we don't need a seat at the table. We are the table. And every CEO needs to understand that the learning function, the HR function, we set the table. And so to set the table the right way, we need to have deeper understanding of how the work should be re-engineered to amplify the humanity in the work, and to make sure that the intelligence that we bring into the work systems amplify the humanity of the work, but also is done in a way that allows the collaboration to have meaningful outcomes and impacts for where the company needs to go for whatever reason, whatever their outcomes that they seek are. So we need to be able to help reinvent the work, be more responsible for it and for the outcomes of that, and create a work operating system that is conducive to what the workplace needs and the workforce needs and the business needs. Business needs jobs done, not necessarily skills created, right? So how do we bring together this virtuous cycle? And with HR in a reactive mode a lot of time, or L&D being in a reactive mode, providing the overlay to deficient or inefficient work systems that are already there, that doesn't allow us to really bring forward the best impact and outcomes that both the AI, the artificial intelligence, and the human intelligence can bring to drive that link to business performance, if that makes sense.